So today we're tackling head-on this idea that the IELTS doesn't have to be this big, scary thing. We're going to explore some really positive ways to look at the test, ways that can shift your perspective and build your confidence up. So let's jump right in with our first point. The IELTS is actually designed to be fair for everyone, no matter where you're from.
That's super important. The IELTS isn't some random, impossible test that's out to trick you. It's actually put together very carefully by experts in language assessment. And it's meant to check your English in normal, everyday situations. You won't get hit with some crazy vocabulary or super academic stuff that you'd never use in real life.
Yeah, it's all about those real-life scenarios. Like in the listening section, you might hear a conversation about booking a hotel, something you could actually imagine yourself doing. Or in the reading section, the articles are usually about interesting everyday topics, like how animals behave or different travel experiences. And even the writing part is about stuff you might do in your life, like writing a letter or giving your opinion on something familiar.
And what's really cool is how the IELTS tries to be fair to everyone who takes it. It doesn't matter where you're from or what language you speak at home, whether you're listening in from Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Jordan, anywhere. The IELTS wants to give everyone a chance to show off their English communication skills.
So it's really about changing how you see the IELTS, isn't it? Instead of thinking of it as this giant obstacle in your way, think of it more like a friendly teacher. It's a chance to actually show off all the English you've already learned.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
And this leads us to a point that so many learners miss. You probably know way more English than you give yourself credit for.
This is so true. If you can understand us right now in this deep dive, you're already using your English skills. Think about it. You can have basic conversations, you can enjoy movies with subtitles, you might even send messages in English to your friends and family. All of that counts. It's all proof that you've got skills.
That's the big idea here. The IELTS wants to see you use the English you already have. It's not about turning you into a professor with a huge vocabulary or making you write like a poet. It's about real-world communication, the kind you use every day.
It's kind of like that example we saw about a soccer player getting ready for a game. They spend hours and hours practicing their skills, and then on game day, they just go out there and use what they've learned. The IELTS is kind of like your game day for English. You've been practicing in different ways without even realizing it.
So here's a question for you, the listener. Are you maybe being too hard on yourself? Are you saying things like, I'm not good enough, or English is too difficult? It's so important to stop those negative thoughts and give yourself credit for all the English you've already learned.
Totally. And that's where practice comes in. And that brings us to our next point. Practice is what turns that fear into confidence.
That's how it is with anything new that feels tough at first. Think about learning to ride a bike. It was probably scary at first, but the more you practiced, the more confident you got, and eventually you started enjoying it.
It's that familiarity that makes all the difference. The more you do something, the less scary it becomes. And when it comes to the IELTS, there's so many ways to practice.
The variety of practice methods is awesome. There are free practice tests online that feel just like the real exam. You can listen to English music or podcasts to get used to the language. And even just talking to yourself in English can help you become more fluent and comfortable.
And here's the best part. The more you practice, the more familiar you get with the test itself, how each section works, how much time you have, and the different types of questions they'll ask. When you're actually taking the test, you won't be surprised. You'll be like, oh, I've seen this type of question before, no big deal. That familiarity can really calm your nerves and boost your confidence.
If you think about the big picture, practice is all about being prepared. The more prepared you are, the less you'll worry on test day.
And you're not alone in this. There's tons of help out there, and that's our next encouraging point. A whole world of resources is waiting for you.
Exactly. With the internet and all the materials available, prepping for the IELTS has never been easier. There's so much support to guide you along the way.
And there's this awesome YouTube channel, Yasarna IELTS. They have tons of great tips and strategies, and it's all explained in Arabic, which is super helpful.
And don't forget the official IELTS website. That's a goldmine of info. They have practice tests, detailed guides, and clear explanations of how the test works and how they score it. It's straight from the source, the people who make the test.
And let's not forget about the power of community. There are online forums, social media groups, even study groups in your area where you can connect with other people who are also studying for the IELTS. It's great to know you're not alone in this.
You know that analogy in our materials about having all the ingredients and tools you need to cook a meal? It's a perfect fit here. You've got everything you need to prepare for the IELTS. You just got to know where to find it and how to use it.
Right. And speaking of having a clear plan, that brings us to our next point. The IELTS is structured in a very predictable way. It's like having a map to follow.
This is a big one, and it can really help reduce those pretest jitters. The IELTS is Very consistent and straightforward. It's not like some tests where you have no idea what to expect.
It's always the same 4 sections: listening for about 30 minutes, rating for 60 minutes, writing for another 60, and then the speaking test, which is usually around 11 to 14 minutes. That consistency is a real advantage.
And the types of questions in each section are also very consistent. Multiple choice for listening and reading essays for writing, and a structured conversation with an examiner for speaking.
Yeah.
You pretty much know what's coming.
And knowing what to expect is a huge plus. It means you can plan your studying better and focus on the areas where you need to improve. Like, if listening is tough for you, you can spend more time practicing with different accents and types of audio. If essays are your weakness, you can work on structuring them better and learning some common writing techniques.
It's almost like getting a sneak peek at the test questions beforehand, obviously within ethical boundaries. That predictability gives you so much more control over your prep.
And even if your first test doesn't go as well as you'd hoped, remember this: you can always try again as many times as you need.
You got it. There's no limit to how many times you can take the IELTS. That takes a lot of pressure off.
And each time you take it, you learn something new, you figure out how to manage your time better, how to handle the test day stress, and you see exactly which areas you need to work on for next time.
We've got Ahmed's story in our materials. He didn't get the score he wanted on his first try, or even his second, but he kept learning from each experience, and he didn't give up. He kept going, and eventually he got the score he needed to move to London.
So don't look at a lower than expected score as a failure. It's feedback. It's a stepping stone to getting where you want to be. Setbacks are totally normal. It's all part of the learning process.
And when you're finally ready for that speaking test, keep this in mind. The examiners are there to help you show off your English. They're not there to judge you. They're on your side.
A lot of people get nervous about the speaking test. They picture this super strict examiner who's just waiting to pounce on every little mistake, but that's not how it is at all.
IELTS examiners are trained professionals. They follow strict guidelines, and they're focused on evaluating your English fairly and accurately. They're not trying to scare you or give you a bad score.
Think of it more as a conversation. It's structured, but it's supposed to feel natural. The questions are about everyday stuff, like your hobbies, your family, describing your hometown, things like that.
What's really interesting is that the examiners are actually trained to make you feel comfortable and encourage you to speak. They know that being nervous can affect how well you do, so they try to minimize that so they can get a true sense of your skills.
So go into that speaking test with a positive attitude and just try to have a conversation, like you're talking to someone who's genuinely interested in what you have to say.
And while you're speaking, remember this: mistakes are not the enemy. They're actually chances to learn and grow. Mistakes are your teachers.
That's such an important thing to remember when you're learning a language. It's easy to feel bad about making mistakes, but everyone makes them. They're a natural part of learning.
Like in our materials, some common mistakes are using the wrong tense, like saying I goed instead of I went, or maybe missing an answer in the listening section.
Yeah.
But when you notice those mistakes and figure out the right way to say things, that's how you improve.
And even native English speakers mess up sometimes. They make grammar mistakes or say things wrong. It happens. The IELTS isn't about being perfect. It's about being able to communicate your ideas.
So don't let mistakes get you down. Don't lose confidence. See them as learning opportunities. Every mistake you catch, understand, and correct gets you closer to speaking and writing better English.
And remember, you're not alone in this. Our next point is all about that. You're part of a huge team of people who are going through the same thing.
You said it. Millions of people all over the world take the IELTS every year. They come from all sorts of backgrounds, and they have all kinds of goals.
Whether it's students in Dubai who want to study abroad, professionals in Cairo looking for international jobs, or families in Amman hoping to immigrate, there are so many people taking the IELTS. It's a global community, and knowing that can be really encouraging. It makes you feel less alone.
And the internet makes it so easy to connect with that community. There are Facebook groups, WhatsApp chats, Instagram pages full of people sharing tips and experiences and supporting each other.
So reach out, ask questions, connect with other people who are studying for the IELTS. It's great to share your worries and celebrate your successes together. It can really help you stay motivated.
Remember, you're not going through this alone. There are tons of other learners and teachers who've been there, and they're ready to help.
And last but not least, we want to leave you with this inspiring thought. You're probably closer to your IELTS goal than you think.
It's true. It's easy to feel like you're miles away from where you want to be. But for a lot of people who put in the work, a good IELTS score is totally within reach.
We've got this great story in our materials about Sarah from Qatar. She was pretty nervous about the IELTS at first, But she practiced consistently, she stayed positive, and she ended up getting a score of 7, which let her go study in the UK.
And Sarah's story is just one example. There are so many people just like you, regular people, who have achieved their IELTS goals.
So keep that in mind as you keep studying. Your success might be right around the corner, maybe one more practice test away, one more study session away, one more step outside your comfort zone. Believe in yourself and the progress you're making.
So to wrap things up, remember this: prepping for your IELTS speaking and listening tests doesn't have to be scary or stressful. It's totally doable if you have the right mindset and you use the right strategies.
For sure, focus on practicing regularly and practicing smart. Use all those amazing resources that are out there, and most importantly, stay positive about your language learning journey.
Here's a challenge for you. Take one small action today, even if it seems tiny. Listen to an English song and try to understand the words. Write a couple of sentences in English, or just tell yourself something positive about your English skills.
Don't think of IELTS prep as a chore. Think of it as building a bridge to your future, a future full of exciting new opportunities and possibilities.
We believe in you. We know you can do this. We can't wait to hear about your success.
And if you found this deep dive helpful, please subscribe to the Asarna IELTS YouTube channel. It's an amazing resource that makes IELTS prep easier for everyone.
Your journey starts now. Embrace the challenge, stay focused, and go out there and make amazing things happen.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. We'll catch you next time.
See you later.